work is underpinned by this kind of idea of social change. It's got to do with something in the real world.
Yeah.
And it's a response to poverty, to... So I don't think that you two are talking across purposes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think perhaps the concern for social justice, you could say, is a recontextualizing rule here.
Yeah.
That's what's driving it.
Yeah.
There's a concern for things like these big concepts like democracy,
sustainability.
These are big ideas that are driving it, right?
And I'm not saying that those are not unproblematic, but I'm just saying that they're not just ideological.
No, it's in response to the world.
There's definitely a referent.
Yeah, there is a referent, I get that. Yeah, thanks. Yes. Yes, you. Sorry, too. It wasn't. Oh, you're just scratching your head, right? Anyone else? So, can you? Are there any ideas about what's driving this paradigm? Yes.
No, I'm not sure what's driving, but I would say, what else is there besides education? I think everything is education. It's like always an experience interacting with other people, whether in the classroom or outside.
Yeah.
Everything is education, and then education becomes the primary driver for change, whether it's at policy level, whether it's at institutions or companies. So enlightening and bringing to light certain things that people don't know about. So I think education, as much as we say it might not be possible, I think it can change.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, my only comment would be that as educationists, well, certainly in my field, we're talking about the formal frames. So it is institutions, social spaces that are deliberately set aside to try and make this education thing happen, which is therefore more specialized, or should be. So we're more deliberately trying to, work with mechanisms that will cause change, that will get certain outcomes. So we're more deliberate about it. Yeah. Yes.
Just one thing about this differentiation between mechanisms and context. Part of this is also saying that contexts are mechanisms, because the recontextualizing rules, i.e. ideologies and discourses, are also obvious. I mean, it's evident in the way it goes up and down, but it's just the thing to notice that the mechanisms are also going to be context, and so they feed into each other.
No, thanks. So you've already jumped to the end of the sort of outcome of the lesson, which is that actually it's very entangled, that the context gets into the mechanism. Okay, so it doesn't just lie outside the classroom. Actually, the context comes right in the door, right, out of the classroom, and gets entangled in how we teach and what we do in the classroom. So thanks, that's exactly the point, is it's not neat entirely C plus M, it's actually a homorphs of C and M, right? Which is exactly why the critical realists would say, someone like Andrew Sayer, that a certain curriculum will work in a particular context. You'll get the O's that you want in one context, and exactly the same curriculum will not get the O's that you want in a different context, right? Because the contexts often are constraining variables. They're also enabling variables. But often the context can block the mechanism from doing what it's meant to do. It can completely shut it off, and you won't trigger the change that you want. Right. Does that make sense to the critical realists out there?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. The last paradigm is the social realist paradigm, which the followers of Bernstein have claimed that term rather erroneously in my view. But anyway, these are some of the tenets of the social realist paradigm, the people who talk about knowledge. So this is the point that Taylor was raising, but they're very against the postmodernists and the relativizing of knowledge. They're very clear that we have, in particularly academia, developed the so-called epistemic interest. We have a way of judging knowledge through things like blind peer review. So we have ways of saying this is good knowledge and that's bad knowledge, to put it very crudely. Okay, so there are mechanisms, objective criteria for distinguishing different knowledge forms. So they focus particularly on knowledge, the internal relations. The previous paradigm, the curriculum social change, are very focused on the relations external to knowledge. You know, the things that Hannah was mentioning, things that are outside the classroom. Very worried, concerned, that's what drives. In this paradigm, we're actually looking very carefully at the knowledge itself. You know, what are the threshold concepts? You know, what are the key, you know, how do things relate? So it's much more intensely focused on the knowledge, per se. The nature of the knowledge. You know, what is essential to teaching, I don't know, electrical engineering that we cannot do without. And if you don't do this first, you're not going to be able to do that next. These are the kinds of things that these guys are alerting us to. So they support the disciplines, the centuries of scholarship that have gone into developing the disciplines. And you can look at that. The assumption that disciplinary knowledge is the best available, that's, who was asking about powerful knowledge? That is the key assumption about powerful knowledge, is that it's the best we have. Therefore it's powerful, right? Here I said it. And so they will claim, this paradigm, that they do care about social justice. But the way they interpret social justice is to give all students access to this powerful knowledge, to the disciplines. Right, that's what social justice means. The knowledge is given, and the justice comes in to try and make it accessible to everyone. And therefore there's a lot of, so in this, and LCT falls into this school as well, by the way. The idea of cumulative knowledge building, is something that Carl Menton is very strong on, the importance of a curriculum having a cumulative effect, so you build on what went before. And that there is a very deliberate structuring and pacing in the design of the curriculum. Questions, comments? Recontextualizing rules, what's driving this approach? What's its limitations? Do you like it? Do you see yourself here?
I mean, they're being presented as completely distinct.
Yeah.
A discrete character.
Yes.
Which obviously I would argue they're not, particularly the last two.
The last two, yeah.
Because even in the previous one, obviously, kind of assumes everyone's capable of something of agency. And there is a lot of this that makes good sense.
Right.
So,
Right.
I'm not sure where we're heading.
Maybe I should go back.
That would be one thing
Yes, so this
that I would
is,
say.
yeah.
They can't be utterly discrete.
No. Yeah, thanks for that, Carol. So I think what Carol said is important. I think a lot of us can see ourselves here and also here. And I've obviously made them, I mean, it's a bit like caricatures, just to kind of throw up. So thanks for that. Hannah.
Yeah, I think what's interesting to me about the social realist kind of thing in education is that it seems to have got itself kind of like locked into a discussion about knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So all social realist kind of reference in the education space are around this kind of knowledge thing. And I feel like there's so much more to how you can work with social realism in education and not get so stuck with, you know, the epistemic power of knowledge and so on. You know, I often wonder why that's the case. Why is it the influence of the Bernstein history? Is knowledge the only thing that you can do with social realism in education? You know, thinking of the question just now about dispositions and, you know, much wider kind of framing of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm personally very much sort of aligned to what you've been saying. I think actually if you read Bernstein himself very carefully, you know, he was so concerned about social justice in a British working class context. And so I think he's been interpreted quite narrowly, right? And so, I think people like Michael Young, for example, are the culprits in this case, not Bernstein himself. And I also think they haven't really understood critical realism. So that's why I said earlier, I think this is almost a misappropriation of the term social realism. I don't think they've understood Archer either. So they shouldn't really call themselves social realists. What they mean by social realism is what I was referring to. They say there's a certain sociality about knowledge. And what they actually mean is that epistemic interest. What they actually mean is that it's people, i.e., you know, the little groups of experts who do the blind peer review. So there is a social dimension to knowledge, but it's always the experts who decide.
And if you take the logic backwards, you get back to the Greeks, you know, so the foundation of that argument is the kind of production of knowledge out of the way of the Greeks, you know, the Greek history in Western thinking, which we now, of course, know it's a limited perspective.
Yeah, and it's mythologized anyway.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot that can be unpacked around, you know, this
Yeah,
area.
talk to that. Yeah. Yeah.
This
So,
history of
Yeah.
construction and
Yeah.
therefore how its power operates in a lot of educational research at the moment.
Yeah, you're talking about the philosopher king idea and where were the slaves and where were the women. And
Plato, logic, you know,
the dialogical method, I don't know enough about it, but I'm sure you're right. That there's a lot of Western mythology in that. And it's also, I think the problem is that it's given, you see that this paradigm is very much reacting to the previous one and particularly to the postmodern paradigm. So they are coming in, you know, as knights in shining armor to protect the integrity of knowledge, right? That's how they see themselves. We have to protect knowledge for the education system and so on. We have to defend it against these mad postmodernists who are undermining it, making everything relative, and so they want to defend the disciplines, they want to defend the internal integrity of knowledge. So that is their recontextualizing rule, actually, is the protection of the disciplines, in my view.
Yeah, I think of all the ideologies, this is the most invalid. It's like not valid anymore because of YouTube and Google and the kind of democratization of knowledge, where someone can make a video. I mean, everyone's learning from everyone on the internet. You don't need the high priests of the universities anymore. So you can pick up piano playing, something is out, it's coding, everything from the internet. You don't need that.
Okay, so you're somebody who would set these guys into total panic, right? Because they would say, but hey, how do you know that what's on YouTube is true? And how are we going to teach the students to discern? So this is the post-truth society where everything's out there. And they say, we, in education, have to teach the students how to discern what is
There will
true.
still be pacing and the kind of gradual getting to knowledge, but I mean it's open for all, it's open access.
Yeah.
So there's no need to silo it off into little bubbles.
Yeah, right. Okay, so sorry, who's next? Yes,
I'm a little bit confused about, what's confusing me is the social realism at the top of the screen, and then the rest doesn't match my idea of social realism, and you've been speaking about they. So who are the, who are the people? Who are they?
So sorry, yes, I think perhaps I should have put that heading because what I was saying in response to Hela is it's not the Margaret Archer version of social realism. This is the Michael Young version. So in the education discourse, they call themselves a social realism. And it's very confusing, so I don't think they should have claimed that term.
But that's very useful because I think I've encountered readings that I have found very confusing, and I think this has really shown me those two
Okay,
things.
so if you see social realism in sort of higher education literature, it's Michael Young, it's Joe Muller, it's Ursula Hoadley, yeah, and people who sort of write. I mean, I would have put myself there 10 years ago.
And Mayton.
Mayton, yes. I mean, Mayton is more flexible, but this is where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Bernsteinians, exactly. Yeah. It's not Maggie and Roy. Right. It's not the formal
But then
philosophical.
Maggie and Roy are not educational
No.
curriculum theorists.
Not at all. That's exactly right.
But there's a lot of opportunity, but I feel strongly about it. There's a lot of opportunity to use Archer with Bernstein, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're very
And
compatible, and that's really what I think
and
I'm trying to do.
That's a
Right.
relief.
And it's good to understand the critiques as well.
Yes. Okay, we'll take 2 more questions and then on to chapter 9. Oh gosh, right, we have to start. Right.
I just want to ask if you, because what I want to do is use LCT to make explicit the knowledge and know practices in an English studies curriculum.
Right.
But the
Nice.
purpose of this is to critique it from to make it explicit so that it can be critiqued and so that we can ask, should this be what is valued by the curriculum? So am I sitting in the curriculum for social change or the social realism?
But
Miss Carol's problem. But don't worry about it, because I have to say that this paradigm has provided some very useful tools for microanalysis.
and analytical tools.
Analytical tools, and that's why what's really interesting is people like Aslan Fatah, for example, who's strongly in the previous paradigm, is actually coming to this paradigm to get tools to deal with deep learning, with deep colonization challenge. Because once you decolonize, how do you decide what counts? How do you decide what to, and he's actually coming to this paradigm to get the tools, which is really, really interesting. Right, last question.
Can I suggest that maybe one gets forced into particular paradigms by structural constraints? I mean, I teach a production course with 24 students, and I meet with them every week, plus I have practice with them. I teach a media law and ethics course with 120 students, and we have no tutoring budget. We're completely eviscerated. There's nothing I can do except lecture. And one talks about theory and then the curriculum, the social change approach. You can't do that stuff in a lecture. It's, well, maybe you can. I wouldn't know how.
No, thanks for that. So here's an example of when the context is becoming a constraint on the mechanism. So your curriculum cannot do what you want it to do because you're actually, it sounds like these are resource constraints, right? They're very practical things that are going to block what you're trying to do. Right, Joanne.
Yeah, so it's a contradiction of the move towards more social justice in higher education. So more social justice means sort of massification of higher education, related access, but less resources, and then you can't do the stuff, or it's very difficult to do the kind of thing that Simon's talking about.
Yeah. Thanks. So we're sitting in often a contradictory, a situational logic of contradiction is how Mark Archer framed it. Yes.
Sorry, just one more thing. Mandy's just saying, you know, these are the contradictions, the constraints, but it's not enough to leave it there. And so you know, so the social justice project is, you know, either how do we work within the context, or how do we change it, how do we fight if the fight is necessary.
Yeah. Where's Mandy? Yeah, I mean, you know, in another ideology, the contradictions will blow the thing apart, you know, because the contradictions can't hold. I mean, that's why we have the protests, because the contradictions could no longer hold. Yeah, so they won't hold forever. Right, so I now want you to do something. Have we got the handouts ready?
Yes, which ones?
Gosh, we've run out of time, so I'm just going to... Are we allowed to go into tea a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want you to do is get into pairs and then find another pair. So I want you to groups of 4, please. So one gets that, and the other gets that. Okay, sorry, don't do anything yet. Let me just explain first.
Right.
Okay, sorry. So when you're in your groups of 4, one group is Team A, one group is Team A, and one group is Team B. You're going to get different readings, okay? Team A has that reading, and Team B has a different reading. So you're in a pair, one lot is A and the other lot is B, okay? Quickly look at your text, and you've got to have a quick debate. You've actually got to have an argument, okay? You've got to take up the position of, so I want pair A to, first of all, pair A is the curriculum change framework. It's UCT's curriculum change framework. You guys must first read out to Team B the key tenets. Read out bits of the text from the curriculum change framework, and you are supporting the curriculum change, right? And Team B have to come back and critique it. Okay.
So I think what we're going to do is just hand this all out, and whatever you land with, and you have to find a group.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's going to be too hard to sort of put, and you just go down on it. Don't take more than one lecture, and you only take one.
Are we Team B? I have Team B, me too. She is A, and we need another A, Tito 4. What's wrong with the team? I don't know what to do.